Hello everybody, welcome to Friday. I'm just back from a spot of leave and I'm nursing a cough, so hopefully I can get through the film without coughing over you. I hope you are well where you are. I know there's quite a lot of seasonal coughs and other things about. Listen, I'm going to talk about some positive things, but I've always promised these films would also reflect on one or two things where we're not doing so well. So I do just want to start with a couple of things in that space. Steve Forsyth, our new chief nurse, put out a note about patient observation obligations into the organisation over the last few days. And particularly within that, I would ask you to pay attention to our consenting obligations around Oxyvision. It's a really important and useful tool to keep our patients safe, but it's one that our patients have an absolute right to accept or decline. And on the data we have at the moment, our documentation of that consent is shockingly not good enough. So wherever you work in our inpatient environments where we're using that product, could I ask you to pay attention to that? If you've got any concerns about the policy arrangements, get in touch with Sunil Mehta, who's been overseeing that work. Now, I'm really proud of the freedom to speak up culture that we have in our organisation. I think James Hatfield and the team have done a fine job. Our trade union colleagues also do a great job representing and supporting people. But I am concerned, as I often am in leading organisations, by feedback that I get that goes a little bit like this. I've raised a concern and I think the organisation would do something about it. And I feel able to raise that concern with Kath Lavery or Toby Lewis or Jude Graham or Graham Tosh or whoever in the senior leadership. Or I feel able to raise the concern with Christina Harrison or Megan or other leaders, Sam and others at care group level. But Toby, I'm worried that my local manager will reproach me, tell me off, just be fed up that I've spoken up, that I've gone round somebody. So I need to be really clear that I have an extremely intolerant view of any such reproaching. I understand the emotion. I've been a middle manager for many years in NHS organisations. It can be sometimes really quite personally challenging when somebody goes to voice something about something that's happening in your service and maybe they haven't come to speak to you first or they haven't taken account of your point of view. So at a human level, I understand the frustration. But big picture here, colleagues, we need to be absolutely clear and pointed in one direction, that somebody raising concern, even if their concern is mistaken or just their point of view or not the whole picture, that has to be the right, best and safest way for us to work. So to those colleagues who've reached out to me and raised a concern, including a concern that they will be subject to criticism locally, my message is clear. If you are criticised locally for speaking up, you get straight in touch. And my message to all of our leaders and managers is do not put yourself in that position. That's not the values of this organisation. What definitely is the values of this organisation are some of the smashing things we've seen over the last few days in celebration of work done in the organisation. So we had Admin Professionals Day on Wednesday, and I saw celebrations and activities all across the organisation. So I hope colleagues felt valued by that. I've also seen our continued commitment through the Igloo survey, details on the screen, to making sure that in this organisation we apply the very best researched practice to our support for people who have experienced long-term sickness, as I have at one point in my working life. It's really, really important, not just that we say the right things or warmly support people and offer them our good wishes, but at a very practical level, we are able to support people's well-being. All of us can have periods when life isn't the best, and we want people to be working with us at Ardash on a long-term basis. That must mean that we are strong supporters and compassionate supporters of colleagues where they have a long-term sickness. You know, we've been doing a lot of work recently on cross-organisational learning, and the 2 days spent on the End-of-Life Care Conference really exemplify the talent and potential in this organisation to reflect on our practice, to reflect on what goes well, to reflect honestly on what doesn't go well, and to try and share knowledge and insight in a community of practice across the organisation. So massive congratulations to Heidi, to Catherine, to others involved in making that event such a big part of the Ardash calendar. End-of-life care is one of the things that this organisation is known for, works hard on. There are always improvements we can make, but I hope, like me, you're proud of the work that we do in this space. Many congratulations to everybody who showcased their work at our End-of-Life conference. I know I started this message maybe not in the most positive vein. I hope you see the balance achieved there. And as I say, really, really important we get our consenting arrangements right for the most vulnerable patients in our care. So please do pay attention to that. A few messages on the screen of upcoming events just beyond international. Nurses Day, we've got Clinical Trials Day, grounded research, always to the fore with celebration. So look out for that, see if you can get involved. And of course, 20th of July, it's our Ardash Day in the park in the sunshine in Rotherham. Details in Trust Matters. All the best.